Hey guys, it has been such a long time. I know. I have tried to keep you posted through stories and shorts, but it's just been impossible to film. I have literally had house guests for over a month and a half, which has been a huge joy and blessing to my family, and I hope to those who have visited us. I had my uncles here. Actually, we went out of town for a week, the boys and I and Hector, to a homeschool convention, then to DC, stayed with family, came back. We got back to house guests. Two of my uncles were here. They stayed for 2 weeks, and the day after they left, we had a friend from Florida come up and park her RV in our property and stay for 3 weeks. And then 2 days after she left, we had a family of 7 come and stay for 4 days. So then the day after they left, Hector and I left for a 2-day getaway for our anniversary. And last night we got back, and today is the first day we're home, just our family in a while. So it feels wonderful. We've had the funnest summer that I can remember in a long time so far, and I would not change a thing about it. It has been so fun, so fun. But it is nice to be just us, and I have been doing so much today. I can't even remember what I filmed because I've done so much. I've gathered comfrey leaves and calendula leaves and flowers. I've got some stuff drying. I made cornbread. I fed my sourdough starter. I am sprouting some, what are they called? The little, whatever they're called, for sweet potatoes in the window. So I'm starting some of those and hopefully can plant them after my next crop of potatoes is ready. You saw us harvesting all of our Yukon Gold potatoes. I have made hummingbird nectar, filled the feeders, and I am about to prep some other potatoes to plant to replace the ones we just harvested. So here's a bunch of potatoes that I've got here. I'm gonna cut off the beautiful eyes and let them dry. Not the eye, but like a chunk of potato with the eyes on them. And I'll probably show you so you can get an idea. And then I'll let it dry overnight, and then I just plant that directly into the soil. I'm also, let's see. So basically, I will let this dry overnight and plant this directly into the soil, maybe like 2 inches deep. And that'll be a potato plant, or 2 or 3. And each plant will give us 4 to 5 potatoes or more. So that's pretty awesome. What else have I done? I folded laundry, but that's the boring stuff. The gardening and all the herb stuff has been the fun stuff. I've looked into calendula salve and comfrey salve. I've got some beeswax ordered. I need to order some amber jars. I'm gonna be infusing some oil with the comfrey leaves so that I can make a salve, and I need to gather way more calendula flowers. I didn't realize it was just the flowers that were used for the I mean, I guess I could use the leaves, but not for the oil and the salves and the things I was hoping to make with it. So I've got several more blooms about to open up. So as soon as they do, I'll harvest those and dry them out and get that in the works. So it's so fun. I've got some chamomile drying. My first little batch of chamomile. I have not had any yet except this, and I was just gonna leave it so it could dry and just drop the seed for next year, but I was like, no, I'm gonna regret it if I don't harvest these now. So there's plenty more coming up. I'll let that happen later in the year. Right now, I was excited to get some of those to start drying. My elderberry the flowers are gone. So I gathered several flowers last week or the week before, and I made a tea just one night, and I've got a very small elderflower tincture going. It's very small, but something's better than nothing. It was also extremely hard to get all the bugs off the flowers, so I was like, I don't know how people do this. How do they get a huge amount? And then I've got some thyme tincture going, just plain thyme, which is fantastic for respiratory. I've got my first batch of apple cider vinegar going, which this has probably been 2 weeks now. And what else do I have going? I can't remember. I'm about to start a new ferment. I'm gonna go gather some basil, but I'm gonna do some onion, yellow and orange peppers, and some garlic. And I'm gonna go gather some basil to add to that and get a nice big jar of that fermenting going. I've gotta make some kombucha today because we just filled up our tank with kombucha. By the time that runs out, the next batch will be ready. So gotta keep that cycle going. So right now I was about to get another ferment going, but first I've got to go get some basil. So I think since the last time I showed you guys, this has done much better. This bed is in the back of my house. I do regret putting it here. I'm gonna move it to the garden as soon as maybe all these things die down. We'll move it over to the garden area. I don't like this compost as much as the one I've got in my garden beds up front. It has made everything so small and grow so slowly. I've never had such bad luck with oregano or rosemary or sage before. Like, I have always had abundant sage, rosemary, and oregano. So not quite sure what the soil's missing, but I'm hoping that I can fix that problem soon because I want to use those for cooking and of course for medicinal purposes. Right now, my basil's doing pretty well. I'm happy about that. So I'm gonna gather some for my ferment, not my tincture, and go back inside and get that going. I have learned all about fermenting from Doug and Stacy Off Grid. It's a great channel. If you're intimidated at all by things like fermenting or making bread or making homemade things, you have got to watch Stacy. She is so laid back. She gives you such confidence and shows you just the easy way to do everything. Their life is not easy. They live completely off grid. It's, you know, you got to be a certain kind of person to want to do that, and that's great. I'm happy for them, and I know a lot of other people are aiming in that direction, and that's awesome. But I really appreciate her gardening methods and everything I've learned from her regarding fermenting. She makes it so easy and not intimidating. So I would recommend you check out her channel on how to ferment any vegetable, and you will realize how you can do it too with no problem and no fears, because anybody could do it. It kind of happens all by itself. I also started to make ghee after watching her easy method and absolutely love it. So I'm going in with a ton of basil. I'm gonna get my ferment going. Talking about elderberry and elderflower, I'm very, very happy that my elderberry trees have very obviously spread and multiplied this year. I have so many more blooms than last year. So I'm really excited that we will have a big harvest this year, and I'm gonna make a lot of elderberry syrup and tincture. So I'm very excited and looking forward to that. I can't even believe I forgot to mention that I also was out of town for 4 days for my 40th birthday. I went to Denver with my best friend. Why Denver? Because she's in Washington State, I'm in Tennessee. We met halfway, so no reason other than that. And we literally just like relaxed, caught up on everything, and enjoyed each other's company for 4 days. It was the most rejuvenating trip I've ever taken in my life, I think. And man, I came back just like, I felt like a new person. It was so good for my soul. And I recommend you get away with your girlfriends. I've put it off for far too long. I don't think I ever want to wait this long again. It was such a gift from the Lord, and really enjoyed my time. So that's something else that I've had going on. So it's been a busy, but like so fun month and a half. Like so fun compared to last year. Last year, I don't know if you guys remember, we did football, and it was like the worst summer ever. It was so burdensome. We had like a month of summer break and then busy the whole summer all the way through October for the rest of it. It like stole my summer, and it was really sad. Because summer break, I don't know. As a homeschool mom, starting my 8th year, the rhythm of the year really matters for your mental health. And summer break feels like summer break. It is so great, and it has a certain feel to it. Just like Christmas has a special feel to it, and spring and fall, summer break has a special feel to it as a homeschool family. And I guess as every kind of family, I mean, I remember the summer break feelings from when I was a child. So to lose that last year was really hard for me. And this year, I feel like I'm taking back everything I lost last year. It was so awful. And this year has been a million, like making up for it times 100 so far. And we still have so much to go. So I'm really thankful. Now, maybe some of you guys have made sauerkraut before, or you do make sauerkraut. I like it. I eat it when I have it, but it takes a big, long, extra step that just chopping up veggies and fermenting them does not take. So I much more prefer this. It's super fast. You literally just mix your salt and water to make your brine. You chop up all your veggies and you fill up your jar and put it on the shelf. With sauerkraut, you have to massage the cabbage for like 5 to 10 minutes, and it's fine, but it's 5 to 10 minutes and all that chopping to make it really thin. It's delicious. If I was like crazy about sauerkraut, then I would go and do it, but I'm not. And if I can get my fermented properties from all these other things, then I'd rather do this because it's so much easier. I will put this in like a salad or a wrap of some sort, like a sandwich wrap, or even just as a side dish, usually at breakfast, because that's the easy time of day to make sure we get the stuff that I really want, especially Hector to get, because he leaves and then he's not back for hours. So I like him to get his ferment in early in the day. Kombucha, he drinks on his own just because he likes it so much. I don't have to remind him about that. That's usually a nice drink that he'll have when he comes home. Sometimes though, he has it at breakfast as well. But this, I will put next to his eggs, and he'll have this as a side item most of the time. And every now and then we'll just grab the jar out of the fridge and eat straight out of it because it's just a yummy snack. So I'm excited about how many cucumbers we're getting in the garden. I'm definitely gonna make some pickles and lots of jalapeno peppers, and I've tons of cherry tomatoes, so I'm gonna have to can those. So it's gonna be fun. I'm excited for the rest of the harvest time, even though it's, you know, summer crops. My watermelons are also looking a little exciting, so eager to see what happens there. Sorry, I bang on my garlic. Okay, so I heated up my brine water too much, so I'm letting it cool off in the fridge before I fill up my jar with all my peppers and stuff. I'm gonna cut these up so that they can start drying overnight. And every time I think I'm done, there's something else I want to do. I'm gonna go pick some flowers because there's so many black-eyed Susans out there. And the flowers I had inside, I had to throw out yesterday because they were just getting all wilty and the pollen was falling everywhere. So time to restock the vases. So I've been trying to think pretty much all morning because I started this video early with just clips of things that I was doing. I've been trying to think of what I want to chat with you guys about, and I honestly am just having fun today. There's nothing on my heart that I'm really wanting to exhort you in. I mean, I could muster something up, but nothing is like on my heart, you know? And I don't know, just grateful, peaceful, thankful to the Lord. He's provided so much encouragement for me in the last week and a half that I really needed, and I'm just so thankful. The people that he puts in our lives to remind us that we are loved and appreciated, and we have impacted people. We're not just, you know, living our day, not inspiring anyone or encouraging anyone, or I don't know. The enemy just has a way sometimes to really lie and make you think you're not really doing anything for anybody. And then you hear people share their hearts on how you've blessed them, or even just others knowing you well and appreciating you for who you are and how God's made you can be such an encouragement and so valuable, because in the end we really just all want to be loved, don't we? So of course we have the Lord that supplies that better than any person could ever do, but he is so kind. He gives us each other as well. And so I'm thankful for the people he's put in my life, and that like me like me and love me, just me, who I am. And I think we all need that. So that's what I'll share today. Look how pretty. The only thing I didn't get much of this year is purple thistle. I don't know if Hector mowed it, but I haven't seen it again. And I had a little bit of of red clover. It looks purple, but they call it red clover. And I really wanted more, but I guess I was too late to the game. It died away, and now I'll just have to wait till next year. But I did manage to make some tincture with it, so at least I have that. But I would like to make more and to have some dry clover for some teas. So pretty. So this morning my Facebook post said something like, there's a Christmas song called "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year," but I think this is the most wonderful time of the year. I love it. The sunshine, the warmth, but not too hot, the flowers everywhere, the fresh veggies and produce growing right there in my garden, all the herbs fresh and ready for cooking. It's just like magic every day. So I love spring, love spring. I think spring's my favorite season, hands down. And I have thoroughly enjoyed it this year since I've been able to garden again and have our chickens. In fact, I need to write that on my list, make the nesting boxes soon. I imagine they'll be laying within the next 2 to 3 months, but I don't want it to catch me off guard. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a day. It is about to be 6 o'clock. I am ready to serve the family and eat. I'm hungry. And I'm happy I got to film a little bit today. Catch you guys up on how things have been in my neck of the woods. Definitely look forward to chatting with you again soon. Until then, God bless you guys and see you next time.